How's it going, gang? Chris Card's back through the mail on Monday. Once again, number 203. Hope everyone out there had a great weekend. Let's bust into our first of 6 returns. And our first one, no mystery, is going to be from Donald Brady. A September call-up for the 1964 Houston Colt 45's. He got into 3 games, pitched a total of 2 1/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 5 earned runs. Made his major league debut at 29 years of age, and wow, he filled out the back. Is this 2 weeks in a row I had someone fill out the front and the back of this thing? So he signed the sweet spot of my signature card, and he filled out the back with his pertinent information. Did not sign any of these index cards. That is fine. Very happy to get this back. Don Brady started the very last game for the Houston Colt 45's before they turned into the Houston Astros the next year. I think that was October 4th, 1964. He didn't make it out of the first inning, only got 2 outs on his 30th birthday, which would be his last major league appearance. Spent how many years in the minors? He spent 15 years in the minors, and in his 12th season was a September call-up of the 45's. Played in 616 minor league games, went 127 and 118. First return, Don Brady. Let's move on to our second return. And we got one from Omaha, Nebraska. We got, let's see here. We got some vintage. We got a signed index card of Russ Snyder. Russ Snyder inscribed my signature card, 1966 World Champions with the Orioles. He came up in the Yankees farm system before being traded to Baltimore. Spent 7 years of his 12-year big league career with the Baltimore Orioles. Finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting in 1959 to Bob Allison and Jim Snyder. Jim Snyder probably should have won it that year. There you guys go. Nice return from Mr. Russ Snyder. You still can get vintage signed in 2022, nay, almost 2023. These guys still signing and signing very nicely. Nice return from Mr. Russ Snyder. There's his information, P.O. Box. He knows how to do it. There is my little sticky note asking for the inscription. That's pretty much all you've got to do, and they'll either do it or they won't do it. So the least they can do is say no, so might as well ask. North Texas, Texas. Return number 3. And we've got some religious paraphernalia. Looks like a signed bookmark by Ernie McNally. Ernie McNally, originally drafted... Yeah, there he is, 75 tops. Originally drafted by the Mets in the 20th round. He played in the farm system for 1 season before being left unprotected and was drafted by the Montreal Expos in the expansion draft of 1968. He didn't make it to the big leagues till 1971. Played 4 years for the Montreal Expos before ending up on the Indians and then ending up out of baseball. 112 total games in his big league career. He had 5th starter numbers for the Montreal Expos back then. That was actually pretty good. In fact, you put him on the expansion Mets, I would take those numbers any day because the expansion Mets starters were not as good as McNally. So there you guys go. Big earn, 174 tops card for the set. Very happy to get this back. And he did keep one, if you notice. So I do send extras, and I tell him to keep them. And sometimes they keep them, sometimes they don't. Here's one of the cases where Ernie said, "I'll take one of those sweet cards." And he took the one that had the better centering on it. So good on you, Ernie. Let's move on to return number 4. Our next return hails from the metro area of Atlanta, as opposed to the rural area, I suppose. And we've got Chris Carpenter. My love affair with Chris Carpenter cards continues. Former first-round draft pick of the St. Louis Cardinals. 14th overall, way back in 1987. Beautiful 90s cards signed by Chris Carpenter, including an 89 Donruss. Rated rookies card signed by Mr. Carpenter. And one of those crazy Fleer cards as well. 93 tops. There we go. Less glare there. There you guys go. Chris Carpenter, not a bad little career. 8 years, most of them with the Cardinals. Pride of University of Georgia. Georgia Bulldog. He actually played for their football team. Was a punter for a couple years back in 85, 86. Georgia looks like they are poised to win another natty this year. There is his information. Now a social studies teacher. Social studies. Boy, what are they teaching social studies now? Isn't that, I wonder. I wonder. So there you guys go. There's fresh-faced Chris Carpenter. Hard to believe he's now 57 years young. You know, these guys are immortalized on these cards forever, and you just kind of see him at that age. That's what you recognize them as. And then you look at their wiki or whatever, and you see that they're in their 50s or 60s. You're like, holy cow, these guys have aged despite the fact that these cards are ageless. And I guess that's just how it is. Let's move on to our next return. All right, gang. Santa Barbara, California, our very next return. One more after this. And we've got some index cards as well as, looks like, Brett Saberhagen. Brett Saberhagen, two-time Cy Young Award winner. And yeah, back to the 90s cards that I fell in love with. That's a beautiful Donruss card. I always love that design. Of course, there's Stu Studio. And we've got some more cards. Looks like a Cyberstats card signed by him. Look how pretty those were. That's the strike shortened Cyberstats where they just kind of projected the stats for the entire year if they played it. And there you guys go. Brett Saberhagen. I had a bunch of Met cards I just wanted to get signed. I just love those cards. $10 a card. A little steep, but what the hell. Going to a good cause. Saves Wings, which helps breast cancer patients and their families financially. Two-time Cy Young Award winner, 1985 World Series champion with the Royals, three-time All-Star, and he got traded to the Mets in 1991, December 11th, 1991. Bill Pecota, Brett Saberhagen went to the Mets for Keith Miller, Kevin McReynolds, and Greg Jeffries. So there you guys go. And then, of course, the Mets turned around and shipped him off to Colorado a few years later for, I think, like Juan Acevedo or somebody. I think that was his walk year, so they tried to get something for him. They got Juan Acevedo, who I think was a pretty decent reliever. So there you guys go. Brett Saberhagen, awesome return. Let's move on to our final return of the day. South Jersey, New Jersey for our sixth and final return of the day. Hope everyone liked this week's Through the Mail Monday. Hit that subscribe button right there in the bottom right of the screen. If you can see it, just touch it. You'll be subscribed to Chris Cards, and we do this every single Monday. Our final return is from Terry Harmon. Terry Harmon spent his entire career, 10 total years, with the Filthies, including winning that 76-77 back-to-back National League East Championship back when the NL East title meant something and winning divisions meant something. Not that it don't mean something now, but man, there's fewer teams and there's more divisions, so obviously it's going to be watered down a bit. So very happy to get Terry Harmon back. 75 Topps mini and base there. He did not keep the extra. He signed both of the extras and sent them back. Pretty sweet. Terry Harmon, as I said, he was sort of an infielder, pinch hitter / utility dude, so didn't get into many games. 87 games was the most he ever got into. And that is it, my friends. Through the Mail Monday, another one. Put it in the books. Hope everyone enjoyed this week's Through the Mail Monday. Hit that like button. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this week's returns. Look at all those cards. Grip of cards. Beautiful cards. By the way, the autographcard.com, that's where you get those signature baseball cards that you see up in the upper right-hand corner that Mr. Brady signed and Russ Snyder signed. So I think I bought a bunch of them on eBay, though. If you just type in the autograph card on eBay or signature card, I think you'll find them being sold as lots. And I think I bought so many of them, I don't remember much where I bought them from, but if you want to know where I got them from, the autographcard.com is the website who makes them. So that is it for today's Through the Mail on Monday. I will have another video up later on this week, maybe 2 videos. And that is it, my friends. See ya.